Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today we're gonna be making one of Barbados' favorites, roti. I made a roti skin before, the one with split peas, and I found that some people told me they had a problem with that. It took them all day, they said, and it made a mess and they will have a hard time putting it together. And I know that's a little bit difficult because flour is something that you have to play around with for a while until you get it right. You don't always get it right in the first going around, so you have to try for a little while to get it right. Now, what I probably should have done was just make regular roti skins first before I advance to put in split peas in the center. So today we're gonna make roti skin, and I'm gonna make probably about 11 or 12 rotis, and you will see exactly how it is done. So let's do this together. I have here 6 cups of flour, and I have some extra flour to knead. I have here some warm water. I have probably about 2 cups of warm water. I'm not going to use all of this, but I have that. And I have here 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I also have here some olive oil. So I'm going to start here. This is my 6 cups of flour. And here I'm going to start by just emptying my ingredients here in my flour, and then I'm gonna add in here, but before I add this in, let me just, and by the way, my hands are washed, they're nice and clean. We got to make sure before we touch our food that we make sure our hands are clean, and I just washed mine. And I'm gonna take probably about 3 tablespoons of oil and just mix this in. And now what I'm gonna do here, everything is mixed in nice. We have a little sugar and a little salt and a little baking powder in here. So now I am going to take my water. This is warm water, guys, warm water. And I'm gonna make a little center, a little well in the center of my flour. And I'm gonna pour a little bit of my water. Always start with a little bit of water, because you can always add as you go along. If this is too much for you, you can cut this in half. Like I use 6 cups of flour, you can use 3 cups of flour, and just cut it in half. You don't have to use the full amount that I did. I'm making a good set because my daughter, she keeps saying to me, "Mommy, you make all that good food and I just see it online and I don't get any." So I say to her, "I didn't tell you to move that far away from me. You need to come home and I'll cook you food." So you keep kneading. You don't want to over knead your flour, but you keep kneading your flour. See, it's coming together. You want your dough to be sticky, but not too sticky. You just want it that it doesn't stick to your hands. So you see, my dough is a little sticky, and that's how you want your dough to be sticky. And that's my dough is a little sticky right now. So this is where this flour comes in. I'm going to use my counter space because this is already being cleaned, and I'm going to take some of my flour and just sprinkle it on my counter. And then I'm going to take my sticky dough and I'm going to roll this. Let me move this from here. And what I'm gonna do is when I roll this, I'm gonna then put it down for a few minutes to just rest for maybe about 10 or 15 minutes. I'm gonna break it in half right now. Sprinkle some more over here. And I'm just going to continue to roll this part for a little bit. Okay, it's about good. So now I'm gonna one, this one feels a little bit big. You try to get all about the same equal size. And this one over here, I'm gonna add this to this, and I'm gonna roll this too. All right, guys. Now I was able to get 3, 6, 9, 10 balls from that dough. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take my balls, my rolls right now, and I am going to make a circle. So you make a circle and you can just roll it on the counter into a nice round circle. See that? You can do that. If you can roll it in your hand, if that's easier for you. However you roll your circle, that's your circle. Put your circle there. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to continue here to roll all these balls in the same way that I just rolled those. You put your ball together and you just put it on your counter, and you just, with your hand, you just cup it like that, and you just roll it to get that nice circle. See guys, that nice smooth circle. And then once you get your circle, I'm gonna put it on my tray like that. Okay? Alright guys, so now my balls are finished. They're nice and round. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little paper towel on top of them. This paper towel is a little damp. I wet it, so put it on there, and I'm gonna put some saran wrap over here. Some this plastic wrap I'll put over here, and this is just to keep my dough from drying out. I don't want my dough to dry out and get hard on the top, so I'm just gonna keep this on here and let the dough rest for 15 minutes. So my 15 minutes are up. So let's see what our dough looks like. Let me take my wrapper off. See, they're nice and soft. In here I have some butter and some oil, and I mixed the two together because this is what I'm going to use to coat my roti with. So this is butter and oil I have here, and I have some flour. We're going to need this flour, and I have my rolling pin. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my roti skin cover, and I'm going to take one at a time. You put this over here out of the way, get everything out of the way so you would see what I'm doing. I'm doing everything on my countertop so you can see better. My countertop is clean and my hands are clean. So here I have my roti, and what I'm going to do with it is I am just going to put it in the flour here, and then just open it up a little bit like this. And then I'm gonna put it here, and I'm gonna get my rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll it out. You don't have to get this perfect. You don't need to have a perfect round shape right now. That's okay. If you need more flour, you can always take more flour. So here guys, this is where you're gonna oil your roti. So I have my butter and my oil here, And I'm going to take my finger. You can use a brush if you have a brush, but I find my fingers work really good for me. So I'm going to use my fingers to just oil. To just put some butter and oil all around the ends, all around it. And then I'm going to go over here to my flour. And I'm going to take a little of my flour and I'm just going to sprinkle my flour all over the roti. And then I'm going to go in the middle. And I am going to make a cut right here in the middle. And then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to make a cone. So we're going to make a cone and we're going all the way around. All the way around in a neat little cone till we come to the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up. We're going to take this end right here, bring it to the top, and you're going to stick it in here all the way down, because we want to keep, this is how you create your layers, guys. This is how you create your layers. So you stick that inside, and then you have a cone. So you come to the top of your cone and you just stick that inside. Stick it down like that, and then you have it right here. And then you put it on back on your tray, because now we're gonna let this sit for another 15 minutes. So let me do another one so you can see. I'm dip it in my flour, and I'm just gonna open it up a little bit, and I'm gonna put it here and take my rolling pin. Remember, I'm not trying to get the perfect circle. I just want to roll this out a little bit. And if by any chance you feel like you need a little more flour, you can take a little more flour and put on your table wherever you're working. Then I'm gonna take my butter and my oil and just all the way around. Make sure you go all the way to the ends and get it all over. Then you're gonna take some of your flour and you're gonna sprinkle your flour all over. Just a little bit of flour, you don't need a lot. And then you're gonna go in the middle and you're gonna make a slice right to the end. And then you're gonna go around in a cone, because now we're creating our layers. Remember, when you have your roti, you usually have those layers, where we're trying to create those layers. So here we go around in a cone, and then I'm gonna take my end right here, stick it in the top, and take my finger and just push everything down, 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 down. You want to push it down because you don't want your oil leaking out. Then we're gonna take our cone at the top right here, and we're gonna push it all the way down, all the way down. And when you push it down, that's it. You seal your butter and everything on the inside. Okay, so I'm gonna continue with these, doing these exactly the same way, and then I'll come back when I'm all done. All done here, rolling them. Now what I'm going to do is put my wet paper towel over them again, and I'm gonna let it sit again for another 15 minutes. Guys, you can let it sit for 15 minutes up to 3 hours, as long as you want. That's fine if you're busy. You don't have to be back in 15 minutes, but I'm just gonna let this sit for 15 minutes. Okay, now our 15 minutes is up. Our dough has been sitting for 15 minutes, so here it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start rolling these dough out one at a time. So what I'm going to do is my extra flour over here, I'm going to spread a little flour on my counter. But just remember, guys, you don't want to spread a lot of flour. At this stage, you don't need a lot of flour, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and take my hand right now, open up a little bit, and then I'm going to press it down, take my rolling pin, and I'm gonna put a little bit of flour on my rolling pin so that this does not stick to my rolling pin. And now this is where you're going to try to get a circle. But guys, let me tell you something. If you're doing this and you don't get the perfect circle, it's okay, as long as it comes out just the way you want it and it tastes good. That is all that matters. So we're not trying for perfection right now. We're just trying to get our skins rolled out, okay? So you just turn it and roll it. So now I'm going to take my pan and I'm going to brush some oil on my pan. Oh, it's raining, guys. Could you hear that thunder? It is thunder and raining outside, but that's good. My plants need that water. And now I'm going to get my roti skin over here. And you put it down there. And what I do is I'm going to take a little bit of my oil and brush the top, because when you flip it, you want the oil to be on it. You don't want it to burn, so you're going to put some oil on it. And you can use whatever kind of oil you have. Okay guys, so you see those bubbles there? That's what you're looking for. Those are your layers. That's what you're looking for. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and just flip it. And then when you flip it, you're going to oil it again. Because you have to flip again. This shouldn't take no more than about 2 minutes or so, guys. And that really depends on how brown you want it. I don't like, see how those layers come up? That's separation there, and that's what you need on your skins. Paper towel there. I have a paper towel here, guys, to put my roti on when the roti's done. So here I'm gonna flip this again. See, it looks good. Let that cook a little more. Take this off. This is about done right now. So I'm going to take this off. And this is hot, so I'm using the back of my knife right here. And that's one of your roti skins right there. Now let me show you one more how to do it. Do another one so you can see. Put some flour on your board here. You don't want to use a lot of flour, as I said, because the flour will burn in the pan. So you don't want, you use flour as you need it, but you don't want to use a lot of flour. And then you're going to take your rolling pin and you're just going to roll out your dough. And you're going to try to roll it out as thin as you are able to. And just, you're going to keep flipping it and keep rolling it until you get it just the way you want it. And you're looking to make it as wrong as you can, but if you can't get it wrong, that's okay, because they're all going to taste the same way, whether it's wrong or not. You don't have to have a perfect round shape, as I said. Doesn't have to be perfectly wrong. Okay, so now we're going to take this over to our pan. Just throw it over your hand like this and pick it up in our pan. And then I'm going to take a little of my oil and just oil this side so that when you flip it again, this would already have the oil on it and you don't have to oil the pan. So we get out a few minutes and you can see those bubbles that are popping up. Those are the layers that you're looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it and what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll oil this side. Take this off. Now this is done. So I'm going to take this off. Put it over here. And guys, this is a little hot. But now this is called the clapping method. Okay? So that we can get our skin or our layers break up. So this is the clapping method. So this is what you do. When you finish with your roti skin, you clap it. It's called the clapping method. And look here, you see the layers. Come closer. It's a little hot to touch, guys. They see those layers? That's what we're looking for, right? That's what we're looking for. It's hot. Yes. Show you the clapping method for the second time. Remember, this is very hot, so you can wrap it in a towel. If you have a towel, a clean towel, wrap it in a towel and clap it that way. Or you can put it in a bag if you have a bag and clap it that way. You don't have to use your hands. Right now I use my hand because it really doesn't bother me. So, but you're gonna take and you're gonna go like that. This is called the clapping method, and what this does is, as you can see here, it releases all those layers. The layers that you wrap, when you put the little butter in there and you wrapped it up, these are the layers. Okay, guys? So it so all those layers are released. See all those nice layers? Look. All those layers. So this is your roti skin. Okay, guys, so here is our roti skins, all done and ready to be eaten. So guys, you see how it is a little time consuming, because you prepare, you got to put it down for another 15 minutes to set, and then put it together. So it does take a few minutes, but if you have the patience and you're willing to do it, you can do it just 1, 2, 3, because the more you do it, the easier it gets. And you can put this, you can do this in advance. You can also do your roti like this. You can freeze it, and whenever you get in the mood for some curry, just take one down and just let it come to room temperature and just heat it up and eat it. So this is it. So what I did is I went ahead here and I had some chicken cubes in the refrigerator. So I made a little curry and I just want to taste it for you. So let me take a peek. So instead of doing a whole roti, I don't want to do a whole roti like that. Sometimes I just like to take the skin, a piece of the skin, and there you go, guys. Dump a little your curry inside of it, whatever you're gonna eat. And there you go. Guys, just look at the recipe, see how to make it, and try making it yourself. Play around with your flour. Everything don't have to be perfect the same time right away, but you just keep doing it, and the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Make some roti skins, Make your dough, put it in the refrigerator, and when you're ready to use it, just take it out and use it. Or make the skins and put them in the freezer. or go to Chefette, but I'm showing you how you can make them at home. Thank you so much for joining me. I had fun making these, and I hope you have fun making some for your family. Don't forget to like and subscribe and press that little bell icon. That way every time I put a video up, you will be the first to see it. And also share the video with your friends. That way they can also learn how to make rotis. Until next time, thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.